Hi, I'm Akash. Welcome to Akashri Concepts. Today, I am going to discuss about the working principle of centrifugal pumps. So, in my previous video, I have explained the concept of induction motors. So, centrifugal pumps are commonly used to develop the flow rate or pressures, and the induction motors are the main prime mover for centrifugal pump. So, in centrifugal pumps, from one side the fluid or the product enters and it leaves the other side with increased flow rate or pressure, and based on this path of the liquid, we can classify the centrifugal pumps as radial when this fluid exit radially. We call axial when the inlet and the outlet of the fluid is in same direction, and we call mixed with when the direction is in between the radial and axial. So, let us see what are the different subcomponents that this pump consists. So, I will start from the left. First is the coupling. So, this prime mover induction motor need to be coupled with the centrifugal pump. So, for that purpose we need coupling, and there are several types of couplings like flexible coupling, gear coupling, or rigid coupling. So, next to the coupling is the bearing, and bearings are used to support the shaft. Okay. Based on the size, there could be either a single bearing or a set of bearings. Followed bearing, here a mechanical seal is shown. Now, what is the purpose of seal? So, in place of this mechanical seal, we can also use the glands. So, the main purpose of the seal is to block the fluid for going out of the pump. So, there is a prescribed, there is a design path for the fluid, and we do not want this fluid to leak from any other place. But as the shaft is basically, but we need to block any other path, so we use the seal. So, what does this mechanical seal do is that when the shaft rotates, so this mechanical seal consists of a stationary and a rotating part, and that rotating part basically pushes the stationary one and forms a seal, and in this way the fluid stop from leaking out of the casing. Next to the seal, there is a casing, or casing means the structure, the mechanical structure that basically covers the impeller. So, impeller is the impeller of the centrifugal pump is the main component that basically interact with the fluid, and that imparts the energy to the fluid. And here in this image we can see that there is a impeller, and there are total, I think, 4 impellers shown here. Okay. So, what happens that this with the help of shaft, this impeller rotates, and when this impeller rotates, we observe a reduction in pressure in suction area. What is shown here, suction area. We call this area as suction I, and if there is a reduction in pressure, then the liquid, so this pump basically sucks the liquid, okay, because pressure has been reduced now. So from the incoming pipe, the liquid flows through this suction area. It follows the path, the designed path, and then leaves the pump through the volute. So this portion is also called the volute, that basically provides the path to the liquid. Now as the liquid follows, or as the liquid continues its path, its kinetic energy that was imparted by the impellers is transformed into potential energy, and hence the pressure is increased. Okay. There are mainly three types of impellers used. The first type is the open impeller, where no shroud is used. Now what is the shroud? So shroud is a structure that basically where we where this the impeller sit. Now if there is no shroud, then we call that impeller as open impeller, and this open impeller is used when the fluid or the liquid that we are need to be transferred consist of some solid particles, if there is a chance of solid particles, or if we want to pump the slurries, so I mean more viscous fluid, so in that case we use this open impeller. And shroud means if there is a chance, or if the fluid consists small size solids or contaminants, so in that case we use this semi open. And if there is no chance of any contamination or solid particles, if the fluid is a pure liquid, in that case we can use the closed impeller, the third type. Okay, so this is how the pressure is reduced. A reduced pressure or low pressure is generated at suction eye, and the fluid pressure develops inside the centrifugal pump. Now in order to understand the characteristic of a particular curve, a particular pump, we use a curve known as pump curve, which is the graph or the plot showing the relation between the head, that is pressure developed, and flow rate. So for a constant speed pump, for example this speed of this pump is constant, then if the flow rate is high, then pressure developed would be low, and if the flow rate is low, the pressure developed would be high. So the pump curve basically represents the characteristic of a particular pump. So each and every pumps that are available has its own pump curve, and there could be and there is a point where at which the efficiency of that pump is maximum, and we call that point as the best efficiency point, the point of that particular flow rate we call a best efficiency point. And it is advised that the pump should always be run at or near the best efficiency point. So in order to save the energy, and in order to maintain the life of the pump. So if pump operates away from its best efficiency point, then there could be vibrations, there will definitely be reduction in efficiency, loss of energy, and so on. Now there is a concept of cavitation that is a main concern while operating any centrifugal pumps. Now, what is cavitation? So, as I mentioned, that there is a reduction in the suction eye area, reduction of pressure in the suction eye area. Now, if this reduced pressure may generate the vapor out of liquid. So, if that pressure falls below the vapor pressure, then what will happen? The vapor will generate. And as I have already mentioned, that as this fluid follows its path, the pressure increases, and at certain point that pressure will again cross the vapor pressure. At that time, those bubbles or the bubbles formed will collapse, and very high frequency, very high energy will be generated by collapsing of those bubbles formed due to cavitation. And this cavitation generates the noise, high frequency noise. That cavitation causes the erosion in the impeller. So, we always try to avoid the condition where cavitation can occur. So, there is a parameter called net positive suction head, and net positive suction head required and net positive suction head available. So, we always want that the net positive suction head available is either equal or greater than net positive suction head required, so that we can avoid the cavitation. So, this was the a brief concept behind the working principle of centrifugal pump. It's different types of its subcomponents and different types of impeller, as well as the pump curve and cavitation. And with this, I would like to conclude this video. Thank you.